Hi guys, how are you? Hope you are doing fine. In this video, we are going to start by a new lesson which is about the sea pollution. Together, let us look at the objectives. You have to identify different causes and effects of sea pollution, describe how sea pollution affects the food that people get from the sea, and finally you have to conclude ways to help decrease sea pollution. Together, guys, let us define some terms. We will start first. What is the meaning of pollution? We are talking about sea pollution. So what is the meaning of pollution? Pollution means the presence in or introduction into the environment of a substance which has harmful or poisonous effects, which mean I put substances to an environment. Example, I put the garbage, I put sewage, for example, into the water that allow the water to become dirty. That's mean pollution. The next, what is the meaning of pollutant? Pollutant, a substance that pollutes something, especially water or the atmosphere. When I give example about garbage or about trash or about smoke, for example, these are called the pollutants. Pollutants are the substances that pollute, that cause the pollution. Now, what are the types of pollution? We have here three types: sea pollution, air pollution, and soil pollution. We have other examples. You can search about the types of pollution. Our lesson is about sea pollution. Let us look now at these pictures. As we see here, we have water, and many trash or garbage are found there, which means that how is the water here? Is the water clean or dirty? Sure, the water is dirty. That causes the water pollution. If I am talking at the sea, the water in the sea, so there is sea pollution. If I am talking about the water, for example, in ponds, lakes, rivers, so I am talking about the water pollution. I can give a specific name for each one. Here we have different factories that release their gas into the atmosphere that lead to the air pollution. The third type of pollution, as we see inside this picture, we have soil and water. The water is so dirty that leads to also to make the soil dirty and cause a soil pollution. Now guys, let us look at the examples of pollutants. What can I use as a pollutant, as a source of pollution? We will start first by the garbage or the trash. All these, if we throw them inside the water, so the water will be polluted. The next example, we have the sewage. The sewage that comes from school, from houses, from factories, from any place. So the human or the man throws this sewage in the water. This is the next cause. So we have garbage or trash, and then we have sewage. These are the causes. Let us look at the next cause. As we see here, all these factories are next to the river, which means or the factories release all their waste, all their garbage, all their sewage, for example, trash, all these from factories are thrown inside this river, which lead to the pollution also. So I have the third cause, factory waste. And the next one, did you see these? The ships here inside the water? inside the sea. How they get rid from their oil if they didn't want them? They spill their oil in the water, and this oil spills pollute the water. When a ship releases the oil it contains, oil floats on the water and covers what? The plants and the animals that live there. Together, guys, let us do this experiment. If I have water, as we see here, I have a bowl of water. I put sewage. Example, I bring the water dish from your kitchen that your mom usually use it to clean the dishes. So these are the sewage water. So I take part of this water. I have factory waste, any waste from the factories. Example, I take a small pieces of iron. These are the factory waste. I will take, for example, garbage or trash, a paper, tissue, chips bag, for example, anything. And I will take a oil, which means I bring an oil from my kitchen also, and all these I put it inside the clean water. What happens to this water? Try to do it in your home, guys, so the water will become dirty. Now I said there is sea pollution. And what are the causes of this sea pollution? The causes are the garbage, the sewage, ship oil, and the factory waste. All these are thrown in the water, which lead to the pollution. Now, after we finished, guys, from the definition of pollution and pollutants, and we see also the causes, let us answer these questions in order to know what is the effect of this pollution on the man or the animals or plants. First, you have to infer the cause or source of all of these pollutants. Who threw these pollutants in the water? The man. So I have to write the man is the main source of pollution in seas and oceans. What are the effects of water pollution on sea life? What happens to the animals and the plants that live in the sea if the water is polluted? Sure, these animals or plants, they will die. So we have to write that sea pollution causes the death of marine animals and plants. Now, is oil waste easy to get rid of? For example, if oil is found in your t-shirt, for example, can we remove it easily, this oil? Sure, no. So what happens to the animals or the plants when this oil stick on them? So it's so hard to remove them. How does dumping oil from ships and boats affect marine plants and animals' life? You know that oil spills pollute the water. When a ship releases the oil it contains, oil floats on water and covers some plants and animals. So the plants and the animals will die. So what should I write? I have to write that oil floats on water and covers some plants and animals. How did water pollution affect the fish life? We have water pollution. What happens to these fish if they still present in this water which is polluted? Sure, the fish will die. So we can write it causes the death of fish. How do people use fish? You know that the fish is considered as a source of food. All the people can eat fish as a source of food. So we write people use fish as a source of food. Now, what would happen to people if they consumed fish contaminated with pollutants? I said fish contaminated with pollutants, which means that this fish, for example, eats from the pollutants that are found inside the water. So they are pollutant or they are polluted, and the people can consume this fish. What happens to the people? Sure, they will become sick with serious diseases. Does pollution affect only the marine animal or the marine life? Sure, no. As we said, we have already finished this part. The people can eat from this fish, and if this fish is contaminated with the pollutants, so sure, the man and the people will become sick and they will be affected from this pollution. Other example, we have the seagull. Seagull is a bird that eats from fish also. So, if this animal eats contaminated fish, what happens to this animal? Also will die. So, here we cannot say that only the marine animals. It can harms man as well. Three pictures summarize the effects of sea pollution. We will start first by the sea turtle. As we see, the water is so dirty. Many trash and garbage are found there. So the marine animals, if they eat from this garbage, they will die. And the same for the plants. The plants need healthy water to grow, so they cannot able to grow in such a place. So the effect of sea pollution leads to the death of the marine and plants animals. The next one, does only it affect the marine animals? It will also affect the other animals, such as the seagull. The seagull, if this animal eats from the contaminated fish, so they will die. And the last one, as you see, the man is fishing here. He wants to take from these fish, and down we will see that the big fish eat the small fish, the small fish eat the smaller one, and the smaller one eats from these pollutants. So what happens to all the fish? They will become polluted, and if the man take one from these and eat it, so he will become sick and maybe will die later due to many diseases. That are the effects of sea pollution, the death of marine animals and the death of other animals, and also the man, the human, will be affected from this. Together, guys, let us find or search about the solutions for each pollution. We know there are four causes of sea pollution. We have garbage or the trash, we have sewage, factory waste, and we have ship oil. So each one I have to stop doing it and throw them inside the water. All these pictures shows the causes and there is a cross mark above each one, which means I have to stop doing them. In the first one, we have the oil, so I have to stop throwing them inside the water. And these oils come from cars, come from ships, comes from boats, for example. All these, they throw their oil inside the water. I have to stop doing this. The next one shows a man throwing the trash inside the water. So also a cross mark, which means I have to stop throwing the trash in the water. I have to throw them in the trash bin. The last two pictures shows the similar idea, which is the sewage from the houses, for example, or from factories, from schools, from hospitals. I have to stop throw them inside the water. So I have to stop throwing the trash or the garbage. I have to pick up all the garbage from the water if I have to stop throwing the ship oil in the water. I have to stop throwing the sewage, and I have to stop throwing the factory waste inside the water. Now together guys, we have to practice the exercises that are found in your book by writing the solution for each picture, not only for the sea pollution. Maybe I have another pollution. We said there are three types of pollutions: sea pollution, air pollution, and soil pollution. Let us solve it together. What do you see in each picture? If we look at the first one, we have a dirty water. So what is the solution here? What should I do to reduce the pollution? I have first to clean the sea, and I have to stop throwing the trash in it. In the next picture, we see two ships and the oil between them, which mean these ships, they are spilling their oils in the water. And the solution here is they have to stop spilling the oil in the oceans or in the sea. The next picture, we have a fire. I don't have water here, so I am not talking about the sea pollution. The fire, it's a gas, and that pollutes the air. So here we have air pollution. What should I do? Should I light fires and pollute the air? No, I have to stop doing this and stop polluting the air. The last two pictures here. If we look at the first one, we will see trash on the street and not on the trash bin. And this is a wrong behavior that I have to stop doing it, and I have to throw the trash in the garbage cans. The last one, we see a tree. Who cut this tree? Sure, the people. So what is the function of the tree? The tree, as you know, gives us oxygen, the one that I use it in order to breathe. So if I cut these trees, can the oxygen will be available more? So no. What should I do? I have to stop cutting down trees. So because trees help produce oxygen to the atmosphere, I have to stop cutting them. That is my lesson, guys. I hope you understand it well. Try to do the experiment. Try to bring water. Put some waste inside it, garbage, for example. I said oil, sewage, and see what happens to this water. And try to study it. Thank you for your watching, guys. I love you so much, and I miss you. Stay safe. Goodbye.